All right, so now we're going to get into baseline slice on our backhand right now. And essentially the main differences that we're talking about in any court position is going to be what are our feet doing and how long do we want our contact to be. So as always, what we're looking at with our backswing, okay, is getting that tip of the paddle upward towards the ear or the chin. So look here how my elbow is extended and I'm using my non-dominant side to support the paddle, okay? So if I'm a left-hander, this is what it's going to look like. A right-hander, this is what we're going to look at. So I've got a very strong shoulder, okay? You see a lot of players, they're kind of doing this motion. We want a long forward motion. And remember, we're pushing the paddle in opposite directions. The mistake that a lot of players make when they're trying to slice is this non-dominant hand just kind of hangs out, and then they end up doing things with their elbow, popping it up from here or something. So your non-dominant is your guide. It's moving your shoulders together so that we're then opening our body. Okay, so what we're looking at from a mechanical standpoint, okay, with our feet, back foot, front foot, strike the ball. Okay, so I'm really pushing off this front leg. I want my energy to lift, and that's going to make that ball go a lot lower. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of them. Okay, so I can always adjust, but I want that at as high as I can to come down under the ball. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and hold. So see how I'm holding at the end? 1, hold. Okay. Okay, so that big long finish. So see how my head is staying very still. I'm not looking down. I really want that ability to open the paddle. So when we're talking about directionality, let's say, hey, what I think of, okay, I'm going to make a little bit of a visual. Okay, so from this position, if I want to go down the line, okay, I'm basically now stepping in this direction, and I want my paddle to elongate through a straight line, finishing forward. Okay. Now, if I wanted to go cross court, so right now I'm on the left side of the court. Now I'm using this nice long guide to create that spin. So a lot of players, I see you guys out there kind of doing these motions or pulling, anything like that. Okay, what we want is a long forward motion, head up, eyes up, opening up the chest. And this is kind of where we talk about different types of footwork in a sense of back foot is so important. What's really important to get a really solid slice on our backhand return, third shot, something like that, is I do need, number one, our back foot, then the front foot, then the motion. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's that energy, 1, 2, 3. Whereas if I'm hitting topspin, I may not have to get that front foot down before I strike the ball. So that'll be the other part of your section. But right now we're looking at forward motion. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to move the camera on the side so you can kind of see a couple from this angle. Okay. All right, and where that ball strike is important. I want that ball strike at my front knee. I don't want it way back here. That's a very defensive shot. Okay, so I'm going through back foot, front foot, swing through my shot. Okay, so I really want to be cautious of pulling my head up where my elbow pulls. Okay, I want that strike zone out at my front knee as much as I can. So I'm now separating and moving through the ball. Everything else is very, very still when we're creating this motion. So I'm going to do a couple ball drops. Okay. So I'm going to kind of toss it to myself and go through. So you can do this by yourself, okay, and really kind of over-exaggerate your ball drops up high. So you're really getting that kind of under motion. The higher that contact is, the better. the more speed, the more spin we're going to get off that ball. But notice I'm putting my extra ball in my pocket. I'm not like holding two balls, okay? So I'm going to drop the ball, and then I'm putting my non-dominant on my paddle, so then I can separate through the shot. So here I am, 1, 2, 1, 2, okay? So what I'm doing with my non-dominant is I'm grabbing it. I'm not like touching it or anything like that. So I see a lot of players, they're just doing this. I really want to think like I want my fingers cradling that paddle. So one, it gets my elbow up, okay? And it creates more downward energy, okay? I don't want to just kind of be disengaged. These fingers are really important. It engages what you're looking for. So I want to kind of cradle it. Often, let's say when I play tennis, I would put my hand on the throat of the racket. That's kind of what I think of. I think here's the throat of my paddle, and I'm using this motion. So I've got a lot of space here. Okay, so the non-dominant, this can bend. We don't want this to bend. We can have it loose. We don't want to hyperextend, but we want it as kind of relaxed and extended as we possibly can when we're striking the ball. Okay? When we're practicing, nice and slow. We're not trying to hit this as hard as we possibly can. It's actually a pretty slow pushing motion. The paddle, the contact is going to do all the work for you.
I know finding good pickleball instruction locally isn't always easy. That's why we created the online version of my Pickleball Academy. As a member, you have access to a collection of courses, lessons, drills, workouts, tips, and more. It's like having access to me anytime you want. And the best part, for a limited time, you get to try it for free. Just go to sarahansbury.com/free to try it out. I can't wait to see you on the inside